Now the beautiful thing is many of these candidates have been generated through TAP due to this fantastic grassroots desire to recapture representative government in Tasmania. We put up a very good fight. We continue the fight with these candidates, and some, of course, who are, as it were, associated with TAP that we won't claim total ownership of at this stage. Now, look, we haven't got much time, so can we just work along the line from left to right, say who you are, what's your what's it, electorate?
Yeah,
municipality. Which municipality you're standing in, and 30 seconds on why. Thank you. Starting left.
Jeremy Ball, I'm standing for the Launceston City Council. I'm standing for Launceston City Council to get a toolkit happening. And I think the first thing I've got is a spanner, just to stick in the works, to stop some of the things that have been going on, and some tools to make sure we get the outcomes we really want as a community. Make our council accountable, actually get some things happening that will change. So when we wake up each morning, we have a better town, we have a better municipality. Things are actually getting better rather than being in constant crisis mode, trying to deal with the rearguard action of things that are going wrong. I suppose the only thing I'll quickly say is I organised and drafted the petition that led to the Albert Hall public meeting, and I'm passionate about using those tools that we have in our democracy to create change. So there I go.
Ted Sands running for Mayor of Launceston. I just wanted to touch on the last fortnight when I just happened to run the Examiner to see about having a journalist come with a light aircraft we'd organised to go over Derry Plains, and they said, Martin Gilmore said, I hope you've got deep pockets, said, you'll get your arse sued. And I said, really? So they declined, Southern Cross declined, so we had ABC went out there and filmed the site out of Derry Plains, but just to bear with me, just a couple of points I want to raise. I was out at Robin Gray's place today doing some letter drops. Had a big party out there, so I stuck shit all over his cars everywhere. I have. I love coming down here. I've got the time to. I don't want to labour the point, but I'm certain I love coming down every fortnight. It's a good, effervescent buzz to see what's going on here, and I just, support out there was great, and I look forward to knocking off Dean in the upcoming days.
Cole, I'm in Martin Cole. I'm in the Launceston municipality. I'm on the committee for Hands Off the Gorge. I started going to the council meetings for that. Part of that committee got FOIs to see what the council had actually said before the application for the Gorge House was built, the Quarry Road House, and the council discussion before it went to council was exactly the same things that the Hands Off the Gorge committee later on were harassed for saying. So the council workers are actually all of the mindset that we have here. There are just a few elements within the council, not necessarily the council changes, but which block a lot of things. So if we get the numbers up, we can actually go, what's our wish list? What do we want in council that we never thought we'd get through because of just the stage stupor that councils universally have always been? You can start going. Oh, Peter Cundall could get gardenings happening. You can get gardens for elderly people, for other people, so suddenly all this agricultural stuff, there's lots of changes, little changes, can flow real easily. Council can actually become an evocative change within our communities, not the fist that it is now on what we're doing. And I'm promoting myself as health. The pulp mill is a health issue.
I'm Carl Stevens. I'm standing for West Tamar Councillor as a councillor. I've been endorsed by the Greens. I'm the only guy who has his ideology up there on the posters for everybody to see. So a lot of the time they're just a name, I've been coming along the TAP for the last few years. I've been at every single rally that we've staged. I'm totally against pulp mill, of course. I consider that I come from the I live in the sacrificial zone, the 10-kilometre radius of the pulp mill. Today, after looking at the Clearfield logging coops up there on Mount Barrow, I can see that the front line of this pulp mill war is pretty much all over Tasmania.
Yes, that's
It's absolutely I just want to add that the ballots go out starting from next Tuesday, so you can expect to have them in your letterboxes from the electoral people after next Tuesday. So yeah, that's it.
Thanks, John.
Hello, my name's Estelle Ross and I'm a candidate for the West Tamar Council. Until about a year ago I wasn't an Australian, so I've never actually been able to vote here. But about a year ago, back in June last year, I first came to my TAP meeting here, and gradually from there I've sort of become more aware of the political situation and the fact that people are just not being heard. By becoming a candidate for the West Tamar Council, I really feel that we can't just act on our own in the West Tamar. We have to liaise with all the neighbouring councils like Georgetown and Launceston City Council, because together, the more people we have together, the bigger the voice that we have. And I'm particularly concerned about the fact that the state government is thinking of taking over our water and sewerage, and also the health problem as well with the LGH. If we can all stand together, we stand a hell of a better chance of getting somewhere, hopefully. I'm absolutely terrified standing here.
Hi, my name is Rodney Sinfield. I'm standing in Meander Valley Council. I'm not going to say much because I get a Guernsey in a moment shortly, I believe, on the power policy. But I just consider that our council's been betraying us and the council staff over power policy and other issues, and so I think there are much better outcomes that can be achieved, and that's why I'm standing.